Hello friends, welcome to the 27th session of Hybris tutorial. In this session, we are going to learn about creating a groovy script to send an email to particular email client. Guys, if you are working in a production environment or you are working in a live environment, you would need to create such groovy scripts very frequently. There will be a multiple scenarios. For example, suppose your order get delayed. In those scenarios, you would need to automate some groovy scripts so that the customer can be informed via email that your order is going to be delayed. So there are multiple scenarios where you need to send some customized email to different persons through your account host. So in those scenarios, we create groovy scripts. Guys, if you don't know what are groovy scripts, how to create a groovy script, I have already given a session on the groovy script. The link of video is given in the description box as well as in the top right corner in the card section, so you can watch that video and then can learn how to create a groovy script. Guys, I have already told the difference between groovy script and a beanshell, and I have already covered the session on the creating of beanshell as well. If you don't know what is beanshell and how to create a beanshell, you can watch my video. Link of video is given in the description box as well as on the top right corner in the card section. So there you can learn about creating a beanshell. But for now, I am going to give you a groovy script through which you can send email not only to Gmail account but to any other email client as well through this groovy script. I will also be telling you what all configurations we need to add in our Hybris system to make the email client working in our system. So guys, I have already done the B2C accelerator setup. That is why I am able to open the HCC in my system. If you have not done the B2C accelerator setup, you can watch my video. Link of video is given in the description box as well as on the top right corner in the card section. So you can watch the video and you can also do the B2C accelerator setup in your system. Guys, before showing anything, I just want you to show how an email can be sent through Hybris to any email client. I am going to scripting language. So I am going to the scripting language. I have already logged into the HSC through my credentials, admin and password as Nimda. So now I am going to the scripting language. Over that I will be running the groovy script, and through that groovy script I will be sending a customized email to a particular email ID which I will be giving in the to section of that groovy script. So this groovy script option is already there in the script type. I'm simply pasting a groovy script over here. So you can see now I have pasted a groovy script. As you can see, I have already pasted one groovy script. Don't worry, I will be giving you this complete groovy script. That I will be uploading this groovy script in the Google Drive and will give you the link to download in the comment section. So you can download this groovy script from the link that I am going to provide you in the comment section, and you can also run this groovy script in your system as well. So I am just going to run this groovy script. What I have done over here in this groovy script, I have just given this email ID where I am going to send the email, right? So there is some subject line or some body that I will be going to cover you in this video only, but for now I'm just clicking on the execute button, and once I click on the execute button, in my inbox you can see this is my inbox. It is going to load. As you can see, this is my inbox, and in the inbox still I have not received any email. And as you can see, groovy script is also running in the backend. It will take some time to run the groovy script, and once the groovy script finishes, an email will be sent to my Gmail ID. You can see now it has been finished, and if I just refresh my inbox, if I just refresh my inbox, you can see I have got one email to my email ID, right? So you can see this is the email ID. For I have sent this email to from this account, right? From this account, I have sent this email, right, to my current account. So you can see like how this is how our groovy script for sending a email is working. Now I am going to tell you how I did this setup, and how you can also do the same setup in your system as well, right? So for that, what you have to do, guys, Hybris always provide you the email setup in the out of box platform extension. I am currently in the project.property file of platform extension, as you can see. And over here, guys, you can see Hybris has already provided us some properties, but those properties are commented out. It means these properties are not active. So we just have to activate these properties by uncommenting these properties, and we just have to do some minor configuration changes since we are not allowed to do any changes into the out of box platform extension. So what I will be doing, I will be just copying all these properties from mail.from property to uh, this one, mail.smtp.password. I will be copying all these properties, and I will paste all these properties into my local dot property file, which is present into the config folder. I am going to open my local dot property file in which I have already pasted these properties. I am going to show you. I am going to open my local dot property file. You can see, guys, this is my local dot property file, and I have already copied this configuration, all these configurations over here. Don't worry, I will be sharing my local dot property file as well. You can download this local dot property file as well from the link which I am going to give you in the comment section. So you can download this local dot property file as well. Over here, what I have done, I have just given some basic configuration like mail.form. This is the mail.form and mail.reply to. All these configurations I have given. This is very important property, mail.smtp.server. Here I have given the SMTP server of Gmail account. Now your question will be, this is the SMTP of Gmail. How I got to know that this is the SMTP of Gmail, and if I want to use any other SMTP, how I will get this value for any other SMTP. For example, how I will get the SMTP value of Rediff mail, right? So what I have to do, I just have to Google, and over here in the Google, what I will do, I will simply paste like this. I need to get the SMTP for the, say, for Gmail. How I will do, I will just simply write like this, and over here you can see I have directly got this smtp.gmail.com, and this is the same value I have posted over here, right? This is the port number 587, and guys, you can see this is the port number, TLS port number, which I have specified, right? In the similar way, in if you find the same configuration for the Rediff, you can also find the same configuration for the Rediff as well. Over here you have to use this address instead of this address. So I hope now it is clear to you, but I will basically cover some important point what this SMTP means. SMTP means this is say my Hybris, right? And this is my Gmail client. This is my Gmail client, say to which I need to send the email ID. For example, I send email ID, I send email to this account, right? I sent the email to this account. How I sent the email through Hybris. Through Hybris, how I did, I created one groovy script, and I took one SMTP as well. In my case, which SMTP I took? I took the Gmail SMTP. Right? And what I did, firstly, I configured my groovy script with this Gmail SMTP. How I configured this Gmail SMTP? I provided the username and password of one of my Gmail ID. This is my Gmail ID, amandeep.ad.singh1@gmail.com, right? And this is my password, Hybris Tube 2021. Don't try to log in my Gmail account through this password. By the time I will publish this video, I will be changing this password. So don't try to use these credentials to log in into my account. But this is how I did the authorization with the Gmail. How I use the SMTP of Gmail. I gave the credentials of one of my Gmail client, or one of my Gmail account credentials, and through those credentials I just log in into the I just made a connection with the SMTP of Gmail. Right now, this Hybris has a groovy script which I will be running. This groovy script I will be running on Hybris, and now I have configured this SMTP with Hybris. Right now, this SMTP will provide me the flexibility to send email to any client, either this Gmail account, like I sent the email to this account, or I can send email even to any other client as well, like Rediff mail, right? So I hope now you understand what is the meaning of this Gmail, or what is the meaning of this Gmail SMTP. You can use Rediff SMTP as well. In some scenarios, you don't need to give this username and password, because you will not be using the Gmail or any other SMTP. You will be using a SMTP which is already hosted in your project. In those scenarios, those your application will access the that SMTP without requiring any username and password. In that scenarios, you don't need this field, the password field, right? But I hope now you understand why I'm using the username and password, because Gmail asked me to give the authorization to use its SMTP. That is why I have done this, right? But it doesn't mean if I am using the Gmail SMTP, it doesn't mean that I will be able to send the Gmail, or I will be able to send the email to only Gmail accounts. I can send email to any other email client account as well. For example, I can send email to Rediff account as well, or I can send email to Outlook account as well. But this is just a SMTP. By using this SMTP, I will be dispatching emails to different clients. For example, in our case, as you can see, in our case, I send email. You can see over here, I send email from this account. Why this account? Because I have done the authorization, I have done the SMTP authorization through this account only. That is why over here you can see form account is this one, and this is the two account. Over here I have given two email IDs. Why these two email IDs are over here, I will tell you very shortly. Right, this is the subject line. you can see this is the mail by and signed by. Why this is mail by and signed by gmail.com? Because I am using the SMTP of Gmail over here. If I was using the SMTP of Rediff or any other your project specific SMTP, for example, say Amazon.com or H&M.com, any other SMTP server which is related to your project, in that scenario or in that case over here, mail by and signed by will be the same. For example, rediff.com or amazon.com or hm.com, depending on the SMTP of server which you are using, right? So I hope all these fields are clear to you. In this email you can see I'm giving one body as well. Over here I'm writing some content, I am attaching, I am adding some attachment as well. In that attachment as well, I am giving some data, or I am putting some text as well. So I can do multiple things through this functionality, and I hope you by now you are well aware that how useful is this functionality. You will be, once you will be start working in the project, you will need to use this functionality very frequently for your different multiple tasks. So just save the movie script which I am going to give you and all the relevant configuration changes which you need to do. So what all changes you need to do? You just have to add all these properties over here, right? So all these things you need to use, like over here I have specified, okay, I am using the TLS connection. This is the username and password of the Gmail of my Gmail account, so that I can use the Gmail SMTP, right? This is how this configuration is done, right? Once this configuration is done, then I have to restart my system. How I need to restart my system? If my system is already started, what I have to do, I just have to press the Control C. For example, I am just pressing the Control C to stop my server, right? Although I had already added these properties, but since you will be adding these properties newly, because of that you have to restart your system. Now there is a question that do you need and all as well to reflect your changes? Answer is no, you don't need and all. These changes will be reflected just by stopping the server and then bringing the server up again. So I am bringing my server up again, and once I bring my server up, then I will show you that this email will be working. I will be able to use the groovy script. If you don't do these changes and directly try to run the groovy script, it will not work. It will display a message that email client is not valid. So that is why you always have to firstly activate the email functionality into your system, and this is how you have to activate the email functionality. Once this is activated, then you need to run the groovy script which I am going to give you shortly, and through that groovy script you can customize any functionality which you need to use in your project. I have already given you one video through which you can integrate your beanshell. In the similar way you can integrate your groovy script with cronjob, so that you can schedule a groovy script to run at a particular periodical time. The link of video is given in the description box as well as in the top right corner in card section, so you can learn how to integrate a beanshell or a groovy script with a cron job to run this groovy script in periodical interval of time. But guys, for now my server is coming up and this will take some time to come up. So let's wait for the server to come up, and then I am going to show you the groovy script which I have created to send an email to any account. So guys, as you can see now my server is up and running. So I will quickly open the HAC. I will go to the browser and will go to the HAC. You can see I have opened the HAC. I will log in with my credentials admin and password as NIMDA. So this is how I will be opening the HSC. You can see I am already in the scripting section. How I went over here. So you need to go on the console tab, then you need to click over the scripting language, and from here you can see you can come on the groovy console, right? So over here we need to write our groovy script or paste our groovy script over here. But before doing that, there are some checks you need to do. You need to go on platform, then you need to go on configuration. Over here, then you need to check whether the properties are updated or not. So these were the properties which you had added, right? Like mail.smtp port, the port number should be 587, right? These were the properties you had added. So let's see whether these properties are added or not. So you can see these properties are added. Guys, you can change these properties from here as well, right? I think this is wrong one. It should be only 587. So I'm just changing it from here and then just will click over here. So I hope now you understand that how you can change the properties which you mention in the local.property file at runtime as well. So there are some properties which you can change on runtime, but there are some properties which even if you change on the runtime, those will not get reflected. I will create a separate video for the configuration properties section. Then I will be explaining you all these concepts in detail. Right. Similarly, you can check for other properties like mail.smtp.user. So this is the user through which I did the authentication of the SMTP, right? You can see that this is the property which has been updated over here, right? So I hope now this concept is clear to you, how these properties can be checked in the server or how these properties can be checked in the HSC. I think this point is clear to you, right? So after doing this, you have to do one more thing. As you can see, we use the Gmail SMTP, right? We use the Gmail SMTP, and this was the user through which you were doing the authentication for the Gmail SMTP, right? You over here you mention the username, over here you mention the password, right? You have to do one thing, whatever the SMTP, whatever the user you are doing using for the authentication, in that user you have to go in the my account section. For example, I am over here in the my account section. So this is the user. So this is the user through which you are providing authentication to SMTP. In this user, you just have to go on this link, myaccount.google.com, right? So which is this user? This is the this user with this email ID, amandeep.ad.singh1@gmail.com, through which I am providing the authentication, right? Then what you have to do, you have to go on the security tab, like I am going to the security tab. Then over here, what you have to do, you have to, I mean, go over the security less secure app access. You have to enable it, like I am enabling it over here. I will just enable it like this, right? So this is what you have to do. You have to do this or for which account? You have to do this for only that account through which you are providing the SMTP authorization. For example, I am providing the SMTP authorization with this account, and I have to do this process. I have to do this less secure app process as enabled only for this account. I hope this is clear to you what I have done, because if you don't enable it, Gmail will not accept your request. Gmail will not provide you authorization, and you will not be able to send the request, right? So I hope this point is clear to you, right? Now, after doing these things, firstly, you have to check whether your properties are getting reflected or not. Second thing is you need to, do some settings on your, SMTP account through which you are doing the SMTP authorization. After doing that, you are ready to run your Groovy script to send the email, right? I'm just showing you the groovy script which I'm going to run. What I am doing over here, this is my groovy script. As you can see, till here, this is my groovy script, right? So what I'm doing over here, what I am doing, I am firstly creating a temp file. I'm firstly creating a temp file with extension .temp, and name of the temp file is Hybris Tube attachment file, right? Then what I am doing here, over here, I am printing the data into the temp file. I am doing the data or printing the data into the temp file. Then over here, I am creating the subject of the email and the body of the email in this section. As you can see, I am good. Firstly, adding the add to and subject and the message which I am going to print. All these things I am writing over here. You also have to do the similar thing if you want to attach some attachment as well. Like I showed you, I added an attachment as well. You have to do the similar steps to add an attachment. As you can see over here, I am giving the attachment name, like this is the attachment name, right? Then what you have to do, you have to just attach the attachment object with the email object, right? This is what you have to do. And then once this you fire this command email.send, you just have made a request to your Gmail SMTP. Which Gmail SMTP? This Gmail SMTP that send this email. Once an email is sent, what you are doing, you are just deleting the file which you have placed at a which you have created a temp file which you have created at a location, right? This is what you are doing, and then you are just printing a simple string like this email has been sent to the user, right? So I hope this is clear to you now. So what I can do, I will just run this groovy for you, and then I can just show you. I will do some changes in this groovy, like I will change over here. Hello best Hybris developers, welcome to the groovy email demo, right? So now I will run this. As you can see, I am now running this. So to run this groovy, what I have to do, I will again go back to the console, and then I will again go back to the scripting language, right? And then I will just simply run this groovy. Right, I'm running this groovy. Do I need to run this groovy in the commit mode? No, because I'm not saving any data into the database, so I don't need to run this groovy into the commit mode. I will simply click on the execute button. As you can see, now I have clicked on the execute button, as you can see, and this is my email. As you can see, this is my email, right? You can see still email is not there in my system, right? Now you can see email has been sent to the user, and over here you can see I have received the email as well, right? From this account, right? You can see email is there, right? So I hope this is how you have to do, right? If I just open this attachment, you can see the updated text is also over here, right? So I hope now this concept is clear to you. Guys, you just have to take care of one thing. If you have to send this email to multiple users, like I am sending this email to multiple users over here, you have to add those multiple names like this, right? And this is the subject of the email I am mentioning. This is the same subject of the email you can see I am getting in the email as well. So guys, I hope this concept is clear to you, how you can send an email through Hybris Groovy script and how you can change even the configuration at runtime. Like there was some mistake in the username I had done, then I just changed that the configuration on runtime. So I hope this concept is clear to you. So guys, this is how you can send email through a groovy script to one user or to multiple users. I hope this concept is clear to you, and also the concept is clear to you like how you can change the configuration on runtime. As you can see in our local.property file, we had mentioned the wrong port. The port number should be 587, and I did this change on the runtime through HAC, right? Through like this, I did the changes, right? So this is how you can do the changes on runtime. For example, if I'm using a port number 588, I'm just doing this change on the runtime, and then let's see if this is working or not. For example, I am just going to console scripting language, and let's see now our Groovy will work or not. So I will just copy the Groovy again. As you can see, I have now copied the Groovy, and then I'm just going like this, and then I will just click on the execute, and then we will see that whether our Groovy script is working or not, or it is throwing some error. Let's see. As you can see, it is still running. It is still trying to send message to the user, but you can see now I have got a message that script execution has failed. Why it has failed? Because it is not it is getting error while sending the message to SMTP. Script execution has failed. The reason is sending the email to the following server failed, right? It is not accepting the 588 port. As you can see, port number has been updated, guys. So I hope now this is clear to you how you can change the properties even on runtime. Like in our case, I just updated this port property, right, from 587 to 588 I did, right? So I hope this concept is clear to you. And guys, this Groovy script for sending an email to one user or to multiple users, you will be using this Groovy script in your project multiple times very frequently for different purposes, right? You can integrate this Groovy script through a beanshell as well, and then you can create a scheduler for this Groovy script. Like for a particular task, if you need to run this Groovy script at a scheduled time, like every day at 7 a.m., right? Then you can integrate this Groovy script right through a beanshell. I have already shown you in one of my video like how you can integrate a script with a beanshell, right? So I hope this is clear to you, and don't worry about this Groovy script or all the changes you need to do in your property file. I will attach this file into Google Drive, and will put the link of Google Drive into the comment section of this video, so you can just click on that link and can download this complete script. And guys, these type of Groovy scripts you need to save in your system, so just keep accumulating these type of Groovy scripts in your system. These will be very useful for you once you start working in the project, right? So I hope this video is useful for you, and guys, if you like this video, do share this video with your friends. Thank you for watching. Bye.